Fear is a judgment never justified. Don't you just love it when he makes those little statements like that? Zing! Fear is a judgment never justified. Fear is a judgment. So when we talk about judgments, we're always talking about something like fear. Fear is a judgment. And it's never justified. But you always justify it. Now I'm what I read yesterday, right, about attack and defense. Right? And in this world, everything is attacking you. Unless you give a different purpose. If you give it a different purpose, it's either joining in love or calling out for your love. Imagine if you looked at the world that way. The only purpose it was going to have has to do with love. And that's what Jesus suggests, doesn't he? To see it that way. Either somebody's joining with you and you're happily joining and sharing the love, or they're calling out for it because they're in some confused state. They're not calling out for you to judge them for what they're going through. Hello? They're calling out for your love. Your confusion requires your love for help. Fear is a judgment never justified. Its presence has no meaning. Ha! Fear has no meaning. Ha ha! Ha ha! Ha ha! Ha ha! That's what I think of fear. You can quote me on that. Fear is a judgment never justified. Its presence has no meaning but to show you wrote a fearful script and are afraid accordingly. So you did this but to yourself. You're getting the results of your own beliefs. And what keeps the world in chains but your beliefs? And what sets it free but you changing your mind about the purpose of the world? And death has no part to play in that. It's nice to string some of those things together, isn't it? Like he has them in separate parts of the course, right? And then you got to go, oh, that's cool, that's cool. But all of a sudden your mind hears them all together and you begin to see how you find singularity. Remember how I told you, you take and then you take, and then that idea is linked with that one's linked to that one, is linked to that one, and you're moving towards singularity. And next thing you know, you find yourself in singularity, and then you see all those ideas that were linked are true. And when you don't get to singularity, you realize that all of those thoughts, all of them, are not true. Not some of them. I know it'll disturb you, but that's okay. Be disturbed. Fear is a judgment never justified. Its presence has no meaning but to show you wrote a fearful script and are afraid accordingly. But not because the thing you fear has fearful meaning in itself. It only has it because you have interpreted it that way. It was projected to have that meaning, then you experienced it and interpreted it the way you wanted to.